Today, we find out more about starting and running a social enterprise with our guests who started Kind Citizen, a digital marketplace to help connect individuals and businesses through a pay-it-forward concept to drive social impact. The Tech for Good platform advocates for corporate and social responsibility by allowing everyone to contribute meals and essential services to complement community engagement campaigns with a holistic and effective approach. Having been uplifted and supported by the act of kindness from strangers to her family in her past, our guest today has made it her personal mission to pay it forward and hopes to inspire others to do the same. This dedication and passion to pay it forward is what got her to start her own social enterprise, Kind Citizen. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Kind Citizen, Bernice Tan.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for having me today.
No worries.
That's very kind of you.
No, it's very kind of you. Yes. So I met Bernice, over I think Instagram when I actually chanced upon her.
So you stalk on me?
Yes, I was stalking you. Not you lah. I was stalking your business, social enterprise, right? So I find that the concept was very interesting, and the visuals of the whole Instagram feed was beautiful as well. And you have a lot of very interesting quotes about being kind, being understanding, and all that. So that got me quite interested to find out a little bit more. And from there, I dug further, and then I saw more information. Oh, it's a social enterprise. It has it's actually a tech for good platform, right? And basically the purpose of the platform was to connect various parties and partners to basically do good. And if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, you are right. You are very right, actually. So that's what exactly Kind Citizen is doing. It's a platform that allows everyone to do some good, to pay it forward.
Love it. So can you tell, so after I realized what your business is, I went to do a bit of stalking about you.
Yeah. Furthermore.
Right. I went further to stalk you, the founder. Can you tell us a little bit about how did you go from being an executive or a director in oil and gas industry and now a startup of a social enterprise?
Yeah, sure. I was in oil and gas for about 16 years, so it's a very, very long period in the global industry, oil and gas and renewable. 16 years, so I'm not that young.
You look very young, really.
Thank you.
When I first saw you, I'm like, is it started by a university student?
No. Thanks, that's very kind of you. Yeah, so I was hardly in Singapore in the past 16 years. In the past 16 years, and I always want to do some like social enterprise type of business. But at that point, like 10 years ago, right, no one knew what was like social enterprise. So people only know that, charity and business. And I had many business before on the sideline, and I would say it wasn't really for profit reason. And I always wanted to do like a business that really can transform people's life and bring the happiness to people and really change the world. So along the way, and also this pandemic had made me realize that, this is something that, we could do it together. So I have a very good friend and also business partner. He told me about Whiteways. So Whiteways is actually a social enterprise in Australia, work with Food Bank in Australia, to actually help people reduce the food wastage. We wanted to launch a similar concept in Singapore. I spoke with quite a number of people, and they realized that, this kind of pay-it-forward concept, we could use it for more than just food. So I was thinking, that's really a good idea, because in Singapore, hunger issue is not really that serious compared to other third world countries. And we could use this model to really help people to get a little bit more on the lifestyle support. So originally, it was called Gmeal. So G for Google, MEL, Gmeal, and that confused people quite a bit. What is it related to Google and yourself? So I got into BIG, so SMU BIG. And
what is SMU BIG, maybe?
Oh, SMU BIG is an incubation program run by SMU to help some so-called good
social enterprises.
Not just social enterprises, but startup to actually make the idea become something that workable in the so-called market. So I was thinking, we need to change the name, but I need to submit my pitch tomorrow, and why not just call Kind Citizen? Anyway, we promote kindness. So I just go into Canva and briefly make a logo with my favorite color and put the name Kind Citizen. That's it about it. And then we submit and we got into that. So somehow it became Kind Citizen actually.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So your favorite color is pink because the logo is pink.
It's not pink though. It's actually
peach.
coral
Coral
peach.
pink. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Can you briefly explain what is social enterprise and what's the difference between that and a for-profit organization or startup?
So the difference between a social enterprise and non-profit is about social enterprise is a business entity, but they are doing good along the way within the company on day-to-day basis. For example, there are companies that hire disadvantaged personnel to be their staff, quite a number of them. And also we have people that selling a product that can benefit the so-called underserved community. Or there are some that actually selling the food, but at a cheaper rate to the community and all this. For non-profit, it's pretty much about, just an entity that focus on certain group of people and serving them as so-called the core organization operations. For Kind Citizen, we are social enterprise and our focus is more on the serving people through the community partner with 100% social outputs actually.
100% social output, meaning?
Yes. Meaning to say, we actually generate a certain portions of the profit and we use the profit to actually run the business and not funded by any so-called entity.
So in my previous digging of your story on
Stalking
LinkedIn,
again,
stalking again, right, I was very touched by your personal story of how you actually got helped in the 80s, right, where I think one of your family members had to go through some hospitalization.
My mom.
Okay, so would you be able to tell us how that experience actually impacted you and motivated you to actually start Kind Citizen?
Sure. So this whole story, it was something that rooted in my heart or conscious level since I was 5, I would say. But I had never even thought about that ever since. So during an interview with SMU Big and also a lot of people were asking me why is that Kind Citizen. I give a very diplomatic answer to say, because of this and that and, the typical pitch about, the market and all this. But the truth is, right, I think we always know what we want to do. It's just a matter of time that it bring out to the surface. So my mom was very sick and she is still quite sick, and since I was just 5 and we had to fundraise because of the immune system issue they needed for surgery, and we fundraised quite a lot of money from newspaper in Malaysia, and we eventually got double money and we actually used whatever we needed just to pay to the hospital, and remaining we give it to another patient. So I think in a way that this is the idea that first time made me realize that when we help someone, we just help with pure intention. It's very, very pure. You don't expect the return. And I just find that, when we see the good in people, we receive the same thing as well. And this is something that I would really like to bring it to the society and also in every corner of the city, put it that way. When everyone is actually staring at the phone and looking around, right, you can see that there's kindness everywhere, in every corner, and I want people to experience that.
That is the beautiful, I would say, ideal state that you wish that the society will have going forward with the application and the technology that you provide for others as well, right?
Yes, it is actually.
So you mentioned something about being sustainable in a social business, a social enterprise. And obviously, going to market and earning revenue is very important as well for you. Can you give our audience a little bit of understanding of how Kind Citizen work as a digital platform, right? And who is it meant for?
Yeah, so Kind Citizen is literally a marketplace, just like any other marketplace that you call it, be it Lazada or Carousel or, Grandma and all this. Except we're actually a social impact marketplace. We don't really deal with the normal so-called consumer. It's a marketplace that allow people and allow the merchant to list the essential food services in the platform. And then we have the contributor, we call it kind citizens, be it individual or company CSR, could actually go into the market and buy the items, for example, some top demand item that we needed for the community, to actually accumulate in our platform as a credit. Along the way, right, we work with the community partners and ground-up campaigns, and it could be some GRC sector, grassroots leaders as well, to actually help to distribute all these resources and the food and any products to the community actually. And people that receive all these resources or product and all this, I would say they are not actually low income family. I would call this a sandwich group. It's like a marginalized community. People that actually require help in short term. It's not really something that needed for daily basis and throughout the whole year and until the last day of their life. It's not something like this. We're here to actually support these people that fall between the cracks. For example, nowadays a lot of people, they lost a job. We call it a pandemic needy. And there are people that, they have some unfortunate events happen at home. Students, for example, we work with SMU and NUS. This group of people, they just need some help for short term. That's how we come in to provide the resources and support for this group of people. Also in a way that we work with some company, for example, Hugs Coffee, to accumulate enough paid coffee for the frontline workers.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really not just people who qualify to receive help, right? People who actually are marginalized by the fact that maybe at this point in their life, they just needed a bit of support. For example, like what you said, during the pandemic, I think the government at a time was giving $500 voucher $500 to
every family
or anybody who needed help, right? You don't have to tell me what, you just tell me that you are unemployed, currently, no questions asked. Right?
Yes, but we do work with the community partners, the social workers, and the volunteer to let them verify the situations of the particular beneficiaries. But not in terms where it's a paperwork format to say that your income must be like this level, your medical condition must be like this. We don't have such so-called
stringent criteria to get help.
I would say it's like a criteria. So it's pretty much someone witness a case and let's bring in some support short term for this person and let's see how it move on. So overall, our agenda is really about helping everyone short term and let them go back to their normal life.
So understanding that the app actually helps people in the marginalized groups who probably don't qualify for very structured assistance schemes, they can actually go onto your app and get very urgent help. So are there also other features in your platform that actually separates yourself from the other giving platforms in the market?
I would say I've traveled around the world, more than 40 countries, and this is not a very diplomatic answer. I would say our government, Singapore, is really the best of the best government we ever get, right? So we're really being taken care by the government, especially everyone could witness it during this pandemic.
Yes.
So everyone is doing their best, including non-profit as well. And we are here we don't own a group of so-called beneficiary. Instead, we work hand in hand with the non-profit campaigns and organizations to complement their so-called campaigns and whatever they are doing. So one more thing is really about lifestyle support. So as I mentioned, hunger issue is not exactly a very, very serious subject in Singapore. Nobody died because of hunger, but I would say in order for people to receive much more complete on holistic support, that's how we come in actually. To really support everyone, get a little bit of here and there to make sure their life is complete. It's just that maybe this period of time is just not that good for them. So I would call it a lifestyle support. That's how we different from the rest of the campaigns that we work with actually.
Right. So from the features perspective, what can users, for example, I am a person who needs help currently, how can I navigate your application or your website, and how does corporate or whoever wants to do good or individuals who want to do good utilize your platform to maybe give back?
Sure. I think we deal with mainly 3 different stakeholders. First, we're talking about the merchant, people that selling food or any product and services that for consumers, put it that way. It can be haircut, for example, we'll work with Kimage, and we work with like Love Bonito actually. So they're all actually selling, I would say, is a bit essential but non-urgent item. So these merchants, right, they actually participate in our campaign by listing their product and services. We call it kindness bundle. They also actually support us in terms of they giving more than what is being listed to us. So we pay them as a merchant at the end of this campaign every month. On the corporate or individual basis, like kind citizen, or we call it kind business, it's almost like a CSR, local CSR campaign that can go into the platform and choose what they want to buy. Check out just like normal, Shopify website. That's all actually. For example, if the company has a budget of maybe $1,000 and they want to actually support and see what kind of donation in kind they can actually buy and support the local community, we could help them to choose as well. And the third one would be community partner. Community partner, I'm referring to social enterprise. I'm referring to ground campaign like Kampong Kaki, for example. And we're referring to like NGO, for example, NKF and Doctor Tomorrow. That's what we actually support. We let them set up a campaign and allow them to set a group of beneficiary that might be potentially receive this for the next 3 months. Or if someone actually write to us and says they might need some help, we'll work with some grassroots leaders as well.
Lovely.
In different area, and we can refer these cases to the leaders and let them actually review the cases on the so-called to review the case and see what is actually the condition and what type of support they need. Support they need.
Wow, love it. So it's almost like a multi-stakeholder kind of platform where you get different people involved in the whole idea of giving and receiving assistance to come together, right, and provide so much value from not even from a perspective of the beneficiary, but as well as across the board. You've got your governments, you've got your businesses, merchants, individuals.
It can be SME, it can be a corporate.
Yeah.
So that's what we call a partnership. It's something that, there's only so much we can do as a person or as a company. But when we make everybody together in the same ecosystem, there's a lot we can do actually.
Lovely. That's like collective energy to basically change the world, right?
Yes, it is.
Is there a particular vulnerable group that you would like to help through your application?
Sure. I very much resonate with this, like we mentioned, the marginalized group. So to be more specific, I would say these are the group of people that maybe have some chronic disease patients or cancer patients at home. And we are here to actually provide more help to serve the family and the caregiver rather than the patients.
Wow.
And also, I'm very, very much resonate with single moms, a female that have to raise a family on their own. And also, ex-offender, put it that way, everybody deserve a second chance. Everybody is just beneficiary, go through certain tough period of time. So they are just normal people, and we are here to really help them become even more normal. And the most original way of giving to someone is, we call it pay forward. Everybody know this concept. So we all receive this kind of kindness and help from someone. Most of the time, to be honest, are strangers. You don't even know their name. We can only pay it forward. You just help another person, and who knows? It's like a cycle. You
Yes.
receive more from another stranger.
Yes,
Tomorrow.
it's like a effect of doing right, doing good.
Yes.
Kind Citizen actually supports the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, and one of it is listed number 17 of the SDG, right, which is Partnership for Goals. So, as one of your core vision, can you explain a little bit about what is Partnership for Goals and why is it so important?
It's number 17, it means it's actually a collective effort putting together as a partnership to support the remaining 16. And this is something that I only discover such concept after setting up Kind Citizen, to be honest. So we are here to involve different stakeholders. Everything come in like we need more than one person effort. We need to set up a system to do good together. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from to say that, we need a platform to put people together first. Yeah.
So, as part of the business ethos that is leave no one behind with timely help, what do you mean, and can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. Just like we mentioned, the marginalized group. So they are not actually a needy group of people. Left no one behind, it means, right, everyone can be part of this social impact campaign, be it they are donor, they are contributor, or they are beneficiaries. So we actually put everybody together under this system to support them whenever they need this timely help. It can be literally anyone. So that's the concept about, leave no one behind. Doesn't matter their status, it doesn't matter about the race, doesn't matter about what they did before, where they are now.
What are some of the real challenges that you faced building this startup since 2 years ago? I believe also as a business owner, there were so many ups and downs, maybe things that you thought could happen or could work, but actually, oh no, didn't, right? And there are so many, I wouldn't say failures, but learning experiences.
Oh, this happens every day.
Right. Tell me more, right? And how would some of these challenges actually shape you for who you are today, as well as a business?
So just like 99.99% of the organization, funding is a main issue.
Okay.
How to make this work in a much, sustainable way. In a way that people buy your story and people are happy to fund you. So it's a very, very long process, and there's a lot of things that I have to DIY. I have to build a website on my own. I have to learn some skill for PR and technology, and there's a lot of things I have to learn and do it on my own. And that is really something that I would say is very, very challenging. Yeah.
So is the experience very different from when you were a corporate in oil and gas?
Yes, and I think in a corporate level, you're being taken care of very, very well. I sometimes just wondering, why can't I just do what I used to do, very, very comfortable lifestyle. And for Kind Citizen, it's just really, really challenging. Especially another thing is about, overall we are considered a startup. To many organizations, to the VC, the startup landscape is very crowded recently. But for a social enterprise, the problem is really about people might misunderstand that you are here, why not you just become a non-profit rather than you become a startup. I think for people they get it right away from the first 1 minute. But for certain people, they might need more time to really,
facts.
Yes.
Right. So what advice would you give people if they want to start their own social enterprise, understanding that there are so many challenges, right, ahead of them? And I believe that it is the purpose that you have for the community that actually drives you despite of all these challenges. You could have jolly well went back to corporate and have a very cushy life.
Yes.
And oftentimes, this is what I wonder also for people who could have taken an easier route in their life. Why are they also so passionate about something that they believe in a way that regardless of the obstacles, I'm going to get there.
So for social enterprise, I think is a business that bring out the social impact value to the community. I think I can always relate to the scene when, when we are on the flight and something happen. The cabin crew always tell you, you put on the oxygen mask first before you help someone.
Take care of yourself first.
Take care of yourself first before you help someone. So that is really the concept I would like to say for someone that want to set up a social enterprise. I think in a way, people need to accumulate a certain level of experience in running business or, in this kind of working culture to really understand what is really going on within the landscape. And help yourself first set out a business that has a very good sustainable value that can blend into the commercial landscape. So that, so that it's actually sustainable. And from there, right, bring in the value of social impact to the business.
How about corporates who want to do good?
I think for corporate who wants to do good, it's a matter that I think every company, they have their own way of doing good. So for Kind Citizen, we're just setting a way to really help the local community and all this. Because I always believe that we should help those that closest to us first, and we expand the so-called impact further and further. So I think in a way that I would say, if corporate could do a lot more, and they have their own so-called supporters to love their brands and all this, in a way they are influencer.
Yeah.
They're influencer, and there's so much value they can actually spread across to the so-called community by blending certain social impact message, not necessary to be working with Kind Citizen, it can be with any organization. Blending the social impact value to the product and services to really bring out the message and to always remind people that, the company also doing good to help the local community or where the company is based.
Lovely. There are a lot of uptake in corporate social responsibility by companies these days because they want to not only give back to the community that they operate in, but at the same time, they would also like to let people know that as a business, you can trust us, right? We are actually very transparent with how we conduct our business. And from a corporate value perspective, doing good can have a very big impact on how people perceive them that eventually affect how the company is being valued as well. Am I right?
It is actually.
So actually what I think that's so powerful about you, right, is my impression.
No, I'm not powerful.
Really, is the way that you, I would say, approach business. You come from obviously a corporate background, right? But you recognize that in order for any kind of help or assistance to be sustainable, first people need to help themselves.
Yes.
That's predominantly one. And then one of the concept. And the other one is that you're not shy to create partnerships with organizations that can make changes on a large scale.
Yes, it is actually. I would say that we are literally not competing with anyone, including non-profit as well. We're here to actually bring everybody together to really create a social impact to help each other. We work very closely with IMDA. They are one of the so-called funder to us. We call it is a tool that digitalize the community help.
Lastly, where can people find you and Kind Citizen online?
We are actually running two domains. One is www.kindcitizensg.com. That's where you can actually find the whole website and read about what we do and all this. Or you can actually find us from www.payitforward.com.sg. That is the marketplace that will be launching on the 13th of November. And you can see the merchants, the kind merchants that we work with. For example, EasyLink, Singtel, I will mention Love Bonito. All these are very, very good company that very much focus on the CSR and they resonate with what we are doing. There are more than 100 merchants on our platform.
Wow, cannot wait. Really.
Thank you. Will you contribute something?
Of course, can. But I
Okay.
need to see what's there. Yeah, then I can go shopping. It's
Not
almost
for
like a
yourself.
shopping
Yeah,
cart, right?
it is. But not for yourself, for
Or for
someone
other
else, for another
Yeah.
strangers that will help.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I think what we would do is really about for every contributor, once they check out, right, it's just like a normal shopping feature,
Yes.
except we don't deliver to you. But instead, we will send you a notification to tell you where the contribution has been picked up and to who actually. So in a way that we make it very, very transparent, and every transaction is escrowed in our system.
And I can actually write a message, right?
Yes, it is. So you can write a message, I would call it kindness message, like what the random strangers wrote to my mom. It's about the same concept. You personalize a message to encourage people.
Love it. Okay, wow. Such a powerful conversation today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so
thanks for having me today.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you, and I wish you all the very best, and I wish that the app itself will gain so much traction and awareness, because this is really something that I think that the world needs.
Yeah, it is. It is. I believe so. And we are here to do more good and to bring out the best for everyone.
Yeah, let's do all more good and bring out the best for everyone. Thank you so much, Bernice.
Thank you very much.
Yay.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If our content resonates with you, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to our channel on all platforms that this podcast is on. This is Epic Nation, a project by the folks at Epic Dialogue, a Singapore-based marketing agency that helps change-making businesses create social impact through our sustainability branding, communications, and digital marketing solutions. Programs with a holistic. This is Epic Nation, a project by the NG.